For 27 years, people have traversed the globe to try their hand at conquering this monumental challenge. Grit, determination and passion combine as competitors strive to withstand the event's 6 monstrous days. From street stages to challenging mountain passes, this is an event that takes no prisoners. However, it also delivers the ultimate spoils. Only the fiercest competitors receive the accolade of conquering one of the world's last true motorsport challenges. Welcome to TARGA Tasmania 2018, a globally unique 6-day spectacular. The classic field is in effect a rolling museum, with cars from the 1930s through to the 80s competing. Modern cars also feature, with TSD and the TARGA Tour offering the opportunity for more people to experience TARGA. Launceston's Country Club hosts the official start, giving fans the opportunity to see the cars before they hit the stages. The honour of leading the field away in 2018 went to veteran campaigners Simon and Amanda Davison in their Austin A30.
We've been doing this event for 16 years and it's just fantastic. It's something we really hadn't anticipated, so we're just trying to get used to the idea at the moment.
Day 1 featured 3 tests, with the first 2 stages, Howell and Cayena, a warm-up before the day's main focus, the Georgetown street stage. Georgetown proved a challenge for some, with rookie competitors Greg and Callum Taylor maybe requiring a slightly more cautious approach with 5 long days still ahead of them. The classic GT cars are crowd favourites. The field, made up of modified classics built before 1985. A mix of European and Japanese thoroughbreds feature, alongside homegrown V8 muscle cars. The benchmark time on Georgetown was set by defending champions John and Gina Siddons. A misdemeanour on the opening Howell stage had previously seen them slapped with a 30-second penalty, meaning the Tirana of TARGA Northwest winners Mick and Daniel Bray held the top spot, ahead of their sparring partners Mick Downey and Jared Acker. For most crews, however, the first day was all about having some fun in front of the Georgetown crowd.
How can you not be smiling? I've just come through the main street at, 180 kilometres an hour. I put it on for the fans, and what a day.
Georgetown is always one of the best stages going, and I think maybe 20% more sideways this year.
Yeah, it's a distinct lack of grip coming out of the slower corners, but it always makes for a good spectacle for the crowds. They're given a wave and the V8 goes past.
That's why we do it, because no one else is stupid enough to run something like this, so we have to.
We had a couple of corners there where we let loose a little bit and had a bit of fun. Get a lot of people coming out here. Can't wait to have a bit of a walk around, especially when you go and stand amongst the crowd and see the fast boys come through. That's always good.
Most of the people really appreciate the old cars, so we get lots of comments and lots of waves.
It doesn't get much better. It's certainly a great start to TARGA this year with 3 stages and a lot of fun already.
Awesome roads, awesome people, beautiful day. Geez, life is tough, isn't it?
As distinct from the outright speed Classic GT category, Classic utilises a handicap system, which allows a 1937 Dodge Speedster to find some level of parity against the 1985 Porsche 944 Turbo. Reigning Classic champions Peter and Sari Ulrich had a challenging day, their new Studebaker only achieving 11th place. The top 3 had a distinctly Italian flavour, with a Fiat of Nick Prieston and Dylan Braithwaite, and the Alpha of TARGA High Country 2017 winners Colin Byrne and Michael Partridge. Despite the hot pace, the 1941 GMC Jimmy Special of Graham Copeland and Josh Herbert maintained their TARGA Northwest winning form.
A bit slippery. I think we've got to up our tyre pressures on our radials because we're not on race rubber, so we sort of learn as we go.
Can't keep them in check. I don't bother trying.
I love how they turned their town into a racetrack, and you run it like you're being chased by cops, and it's just the best fun.
Having a great time, car's going well. It's only the start, long way to go yet, but yeah, things are looking good.
TSD is a unique challenge where competitors aim to match a set average speed on each stage. A 130 km/h speed limit allows cars without roll cages to compete, making it more accessible than other competitive categories. Finishing a stage merely a few tenths of a second under or over the prescribed time accrues penalty points, meaning the category is very tightly contested, with teams lured by the twin challenges of driving and pace setting. At the front, Steve and Heather Brumby made their intentions clear, along with defending champions Darryl and Peter Marshall. But Brian and Justin Marshall ended the day with a 5-point lead. The second day of TARGA Tasmania dawned to stunning weather as crews headed north to tackle 6 stages. The hills that adorned the morning stages were quickly replaced with mountains, and the tension built as teams neared the epic day-ending Mount Roland stage. The leading crews were all pushing hard on the morning stages. Unfortunately though, for classic GT hard chargers Mick Downey and Jared Acker, the Nook stage signalled the end of their podium aspirations.
Yeah, classic car racing, here it is. Once again, beefed up the engine, beefed up the gearbox, didn't beef up the diff. And there we are, there's a big hole on the back of the diff housing. That's classic car racing, and everyone else is still out there, so there's a big battle on up the front in the classic GT with Bray and Sido at the moment, so that'll be interesting to watch while we're putting our one back together.
The jousting at the front didn't disappoint. Bray making up ground on the fast open stages, and Siddons clawing back time on the tighter tests. After Mount Roland, the Datsun had made a dent in the overall margin, but the Tirana still held a slender 6-second lead.
It's good to have someone to be running that close with. It certainly puts the pressure on and makes you be on your game. We were striving as we normally would, but I think John's just pushing a little bit harder, and yeah, he's catching us.
It's enjoyable, someone being close. Not a lot of fun being out in the front, so I do prefer to chase. Learn is always good, and we caught a GDR in there.
Yeah, and the modern Datsun didn't want to let the dirty old Datsun pass.
The battle in Classic was intense from the jump. Copeland and Herbert maintained their lead, clearly driving the GMC Jimmy Special to the absolute limit of what's possible in a 1940s car. The battle for the podium saw a variety of cars in the mix, with Steve McClintock and Jan Skinner in their BMW 2002 moving up to second.
We got off to a slow start yesterday, but I think we picked up a bit today.
You know, let's see how we go. It's another 4 days. The car's got a few problems, so as usual, because it's classic, but we'll see how we go in the next 4 days.
TSD was as competitive as ever. Darryl and Peter Marshall and Brian and Justin Marshall trading stages over the day. The Ute finished the day 1 solitary point behind the Polo. Sitting in third were father and daughter crew of Steve and Heather Brumby. Heather is the youngest competitor in TARGA history at just 14 years old.
It's pretty crazy being able to be here and do it, let alone with my dad, which is probably the best part of it all, is getting to do it with him.
It's a unique opportunity to be able to drive on these roads, and we're very privileged that Tasmania lets us come down here and do it each year. You just can't do this anywhere else.
The stunning seaside vistas of Tasmania's east coast are a feature of Day 3, along with some of the state's most demanding roads. The day's flagship sidling stage opened proceedings, the tight and technical test providing one of TARGA's biggest challenges. The classic GT competitors charged into the stage, keen to make a mark on the leaderboard. For Siddons, it was the chance to make up ground, shaving a further 4 seconds off Bray's lead. Despite Bray taking the wider, more aggressive line into this hairpin on the sidling, it's the lighter, more nimble Datsun that holds the advantage, braking later and carrying more speed through the corner. The next stage, Marina, features a fast, cresty start, and the tide turns with Bray taking advantage of the Tirana's power to pull a small gap. But as the cars leave sight, we see Bray lift for a crest, opening the door to allow Siddons back into the game. By stage end, Bray's charge paid off, claiming back the 4 seconds lost to Siddons on the sidling. However, disaster struck on the very next stage, with Siddons crashing out of the event.
You know, we're having a good morning. We're fine, that's the main thing. Gina done a great job in the navigation. She was on it. When you're punting along at the speed we punt at, these things happen.
Obviously not a great sight, just got to put that out of our mind now, and it's a long race, and it is an endurance event, so keep our head down.
With the 2-time defending champions out of the picture, the Brays were sitting pretty at the front of the category. Siddons' demise also elevated the Porsche duo of Stu McCauley and Phil Etienne into third, just behind the Jaguar of Mark Hammond and Dennis Neagle.
Unfortunately, John and Gina had a tip off today, but they're both okay, that's the main thing. And yeah, sort of helped us move up one spot, so we're happy with that.
Everything went well. The new flux capacitors we put in last night made a big difference. Pretty happy. Notes were fantastic, weather was fantastic. Got nothing to complain about.
In TSD, the Marshall Polo and the Marshall Falcon resumed their battle, each scoring remarkable tallies over the day. Jerry Bashford and Peter Bell enjoyed the beautiful weather while moving up to third place.
It's good. Running around in Tasmania, roof down, the sun's out.
Oh, no, it was pretty good.
The Thoroughbred Trophy category features cars in non-handicap competition with a 130 km/h speed limit. TARGA veterans Jack Waldron and Vin Gregory were the team to beat. In Classic, the morning stages were kind to Copeland and Herbert. However, they suffered mechanical issues in the afternoon, seeing them drop down the timesheets.
Get in there. We've lost gears.
They arrive back in Launceston with their lead battered but intact.
We've had the pressure plate give us real problems. It's murphed itself. So tonight we'll come back, get the car, take it out, pull the gearbox out, put a new one in. We've been a bit steady this afternoon. Like, we've been flogging it with a stick, this poor old girl, and she's just said, yep, that bit broke, we'll put another one in.
Only 1 minute 4 seconds behind, the McClintock and Skinner BMW 2002 was poised to pounce should any more issues surface for the GMC. Behind, old rivalries were revived in the battle for podium contention.
We are the dog catchers today. We caught the dog.
That's it. The hound and the fox are having some fun, and we're trying to catch them both.
Chewy, the Ferrari scent dog.
He said he needed some scent. We got some Ferrari scent and said, this is the scent of the fox, and we sprayed the hound.
I chased him, but we had an alternator failure, so I bought 2 batteries and we're here now, so I didn't catch him, but he was nice enough to have a small accident in Rossard.
Yes, we clipped the bank, but we kept going, lost about 30 seconds, but the fox lives for another day.
Targa Fest at the Launceston Silverdome signalled the end of a demanding day. The fans relishing an opportunity to browse through Targa's cavalcade of motoring history, meet the drivers and even grab a poster or autograph. The 4th day is the event's longest and most gruelling, with 6 stages taking crews from Launceston to Strawn. There was no opportunity to ease in. The 38 hallowed kilometres of Sathana opening the day. This stage is the reason many come to Targa Tasmania, and the reason many go home empty-handed. This time it was the 2nd place BMW 2002 of Steve McClintock and Jan Skinner that joined the list of defeated as Sathana claimed a fresh victor.
So we were coming around the 2 right down the bottom of the hill. There was an almighty bang. So we pulled over here and stopped and watched the rest of the cars go by. It's actually a lovely spot if you look at it.
The cars went by warp speed. Really good spot to sit and watch them if you had to.
It's disappointing coming second in Classic and now out of it.
That's why we like it with the classic cars. It's got to have the car built to last, and the car's pretty well built, but just didn't last this time.
The BMW's demise restored Copeland and Herbert's comfortable lead. The GMC celebrating as it passed a Nissan GTR on stage. Their closest challengers are now Preston and Braithwaite, the pair receiving a warm reception on arrival into Strawn.
Got happy socks on.
I love you, Nick Preston!
I love you too! I'm happy with this place. 2nd is good. Just want to maintain it for till tomorrow, so it's fun. Fans are amazing.
The battle for the final place in the top 3 was tight. Ashley Yilds and Charlie Hughes' Volvo narrowly edging out David Gilliver and Nigel Shelshear's Ferrari. One highlight of day 4 is an infamous right-hand bend on Rihanna, which often sees wheels locked up or launched in the air as the road drops away mid-corner.
I've given it a bit of a bootful. Front wheel's off the ground, so I've gone straight into someone's front yard there, but I kept the boot in it and just drifted it back out again. So it was a bit of dirt rallying, I think.
As Bray's Tirana held a commanding lead, the battle behind provided the entertainment in Classic GT. Starting the day 4th, Anthony Ginocchio and Scott Hamilton had their eyes on the podium. The fastest time on Sathana saw them dispatch Macaulay and Etienne's Porsche 911. More quick times followed, and on Rihanna, the Commodore moved into 2nd. But Mark Hammond and Dennis Neagle's Jaguar remained in striking distance. In TSD, defending champions Darrell and Peter Marshall were too good, arriving in Strawn with both the category lead and new jackets.
I'm not a real big fan of this. I think I want my flatty back.
You have to be a member of a special club to get your hands on one of these sort of things. We've been knocking these guys for years, and they finally lent us their jackets.
That means we've got even better tomorrow.
Yeah, we've had a good day. We had a 5-point day coming in here last year, and I think we've probably had 8 or 9 today. It's taken a little while to hit our straps, and hopefully we can keep it going for the next couple of days.
The excitement amongst competitors was palpable as dawn broke on day 5. Fans lined the route, and the stage was set for an epic battle between Strawn and Hobart. The Mount Arrowsmith stage is one that demands respect. The 52 kilometres, a true mechanical test for the event's classic cars. The opening stage, Strawn, saw the demise of Preston and Braithwaite, their podium charge succumbing to a puncture. This gave increased significance to the battle between Yelds and Hughes and Gilliver and Shelshear, with Colin Byrne and Michael Partridge also vying to involve their Alpha in the podium fight. Gilliver's Ferrari charged through Mount Arrowsmith, taking 48 seconds out of the Volvo pairing. However, on Tarraleah, Yells hit back to win the stage and end the day 41 seconds ahead of the chasing Ferrari.
A real lot of fun out of Strawn this morning, but Aerosmith, not so good, but we redeemed ourselves on Tarraleah. That was a lot of fun.
Another day tomorrow. Just keep doing what we're doing and see where we go.
The leading Jimmy Special suffered more issues over the day, but Copeland and Herbert persisted, digging deep to maintain their lead.
We're running with limited horsepower, so we're carrying heaps of corner speed, which is a bit frightening. We broke a rocker shaft, so basically the number 6 is out. We've got 2 lifters in the motor somewhere. We don't know where they are, but they're not in the way at the moment, so all they're going to do is get in the way and we're out. We've sort of backed off a little bit, and yeah, we just got to get through tomorrow.
The Brays had another strong day, comfortably extending their classic GT lead. But the battle was on for the final places on the podium. Ginocchio and Hamilton went toe-to-toe with Hammond and Neagle until the Commodore fell victim to Mount Arrowsmith.
4 right late, accidents very common.
Elevating Macaulay's Porsche and Hammond's Jaguar to 3rd and 2nd respectively.
The car is working really well and Mark's really coming into his own.
We're fortunate enough to be in 2nd place in GT Classic and we just got to keep getting through to the end of tomorrow.
In TSD, the Marshall's leading Falcon Ute consolidated, while in another strong showing, Peter and Tristan Taylor moved into podium contention. One of the star attractions of Targa this year was the stunning Porsche 356A of Renee Brinkerhoff and Calvin Coolidge. Having trekked all the way from the USA and the UK, Targa for them is part of a broader mission.
So Project 356 World Rally Tour is taking a car on all 7 continents, including Antarctica, racing it in a significant event in every one of those continents, and we chose TARGA Tasmania as the Australian event. And while we're doing this is to message to people to be aware in your very backyard, in your hometown, in your country, children are being trafficked, not just in faraway places like Thailand or Cambodia, but in the land that you live in, and to get involved and do something about it. That's what we're doing, and having a great experience with rallying and meeting amazing people in these events.
It's incredible. I've never done a tarmac event like it. I've done tarmac events, all over the place, but this is incredible. The 52K stage, that was
absolutely amazing. Everyone talks about it, but until you've experienced it and you've been on that, and it goes on and on and on, and you have to keep that focus, it's really a great feat.
As dawn broke on the final day, competitors woke, ready to tackle 6 bumpy and brutally technical stages to the south of Hobart, before the official finish at Princes Wharf. For participants in the tour, the official finish was a fitting end to a fantastic week of driving on Tasmania's stunning closed roads.
It's fantastic to bring all these different cars down to Tassie and have a cruise around, let all the local people see some different cars down here. It's been brilliant.
Well, it's our first time here. Great intro to drive around Tasmania, see the beautiful parts and drive some of the best driving roads in the world.
And those last few stages with the great roads, they're all great roads, but it was really, really good fun.
The first competitive category to cross the line was TSD. In a day of changes on the leaderboard, Jerry Bashford and Peter Bell were ushered into 3rd, with Peter and Tristan Taylor 2nd. However, it was Darryl and Peter Marshall who stamped their mark on the event, coming home victorious.
Do 3 in a row is just hard to explain.
The achievement for us is really to do it again 3 years in a row and to also improve on our average points per stage from last year, and that's pretty good going. I don't think you can do much better in this category.
We just had a white knuckle ride all morning. It's a lot tighter on the last day. We didn't make any mistakes. We still can't beat the Falcon Ute though.
Nothing's faster than an Aussie bloke in his ute.
And we had a great day today. Really managed to nail them all pretty well.
I brought the cans of weather with me. Jerry drives beautifully. The car goes well. We've got this weather. It was a really great event.
Justin Gann and Stuart Hart finished Rookie Classic GT on the top step of the podium, with Greg and Callum Taylor 2nd. In Thoroughbred Trophy, Jim and Evan Kelly and Jeff Storr and Steve Kaplis claimed the minor placings, with Targa Hall of Famers Jack Waldron and Vin Gregory owning the top step on the podium.
It means a lot to win an event with a profile like TARGA Tasmania, but you don't sort of think about having won or being beaten so much as enjoying the experience.
To share the competition with all these great people that compete in the event, and stepping up on the podium is just another step in that order.
Most of the classic crews were relieved to just make it to the finish line in Hobart. Mick Downey and Jared Acker were among them, although after a number of issues during the event, they had one challenge left to face. Mark Hammond and Dennis Neagle and Stuart McCauley and Philippe Etienne staked their claim on the Classic GT podium. But the Tirana of Mick and Daniel Bray remained dominant, winning the category by a strong margin.
We had to just keep it together and just drive to conserve and get to the end. We're here, it's really good.
We've had a great week. Car's been great, weather's been great. I've done it with my brother, we've got family and great friends as crew, so we're stoked. It's just brilliant.
We've been coming here 9 years and this is my best event for sure, yeah.
It's been quite an experience. It's an amazing car. From the beginning of the week, he said it was rusty. I think he's pretty shiny and polished now at this end of the week.
I mean, this is just a fantastic week and a great experience, and we're just thrilled to have finished it safely and got a good result.
Well, our last 5 years we've been 7th, 7th, 5th, 4th and 3rd, so come and talk to us next year when we're 2nd. Hopefully.
The Classic category was hard fought over the final day. Despite winning the event's 2 final stages, Colin Byrne and Michael Partridge fell short in their quest for the podium, ending the event 4th. The battle raged between the Gilliver Ferrari and the Yelds Volvo. But despite the best efforts of the Fox, it was the Swede that ended the event 2nd.
It's been quite a battle all week, but it's great to have a Monaro, a couple of Alphas, BMWs, Ferrari, little old Volvo, all battling there right the way through to finish.
When I first got in the car with Ash, he said, you'll find it's fire and brimstone. And believe me, it rocks and rolls and screams and bounces, and if we're 2nd place, up against a competitive field, and really pleased.
It's been a fantastic day, well driven, and we've made it home.
You're just so pumped to finish the event, and to get a podium's just icing on the cake.
A myriad of mechanical issues had plagued the Jimmy Special of Graham Copeland and Josh Herbert throughout the event. But the 77-year-old car managed to make the finish, crossing the line as the 2018 Classic champions.
The whole car's murphed. I think we've broken a tooth in the diff, have snapped the intake manifold. The exhaust fell off. We actually drove it about 200 yards since the end of the last stage. Thank God it was all downhill, because I don't think she's got another 100 yards in her.
We are pleased.
We really thought we were out. Unlucky for those guys, one more stage and they got first.
As TARGA Tasmania 2018 drew to a close, the winners celebrated their success on the massive Rest Point podium. We'll be back to bring you the 3rd round of the Australian TARGA Championship, the all-new TARGA Great Barrier Reef.